Okay, here we are. All right. Today is September 20th, 2025, and I am in Fortuna for the first time in 33 episodes. I am right on the 101 freeway just as you exit southern Humboldt. It's about what you might call mid-Humboldt. It's not exactly proper Eureka Arcata Humboldt, but it is a place in itself. And now I'm here with Cliff Clendenen of Clendenen Apple Cider Works, and I am here in anticipation of the Apple
Harvest Festival.
Have you ever given like a brief description of the festival? Do you have a pretty canned?
Yeah, I can do an elevator speech.
Could you?
Yeah.
Here is by the owner of the Clendenen Apple Cider Works, the elevator speech of the Apple Orchard Festival.
Okay.
I did it.
Our orchard was founded by my family in 1909, and so in 2009 was our 100th anniversary, and every year after that we wanted to do something that was fun as our 100th anniversary, so my mom called it the Apple Harvest Festival, and so this is year 40 if you count a couple of years fudge for the pandemic. So we do hay rides in our orchard, we taste apples. There's a lot of other events around town. There's a downtown street fair in downtown Fortuna. Runner Park has several events, and fun for all, mostly free. It's a lot of organization, and then once it's finally rolling, it's really fun. We enjoy sharing our orchard and our products and our town with the community.
Now, before we get started on everything, I would like to, there's something I like to kind of include. Here we go. And just about every school lunch, you will find one of these in the United States. And actually, this is one of the better ones. Actually, this one's pretty good because there's no sugar added, which is pretty good. And I've raised my kids on these. You want to open this and tell me what you think? Because I drank yours for the first time 2 days ago. It was the most amazing thing I have ever tasted in my life. I thought I was just biting into an apple. Absolutely amazing.
That's exactly what I would expect. It's apple juice. I'm reading the label. It's 100% juice, no sugar added, but it has been reconstituted from concentrate. And the first thing I notice in drinking a commercial apple juice is it's nearly always been pasteurized, so it just tastes a little bit cooked, like maybe you'd scorched your applesauce just a little bit, and so I think that's the most distinct flavor compared to ours.
And briefly, what is pasteurized?
Pasteurizing is heating up to kill yeast and microorganisms. The particular target is yeast because our juice and any other unpasteurized juice will ferment after a week or so.
Did you enjoy that?
Not particularly.
So do you drink yours every day, and now you're like...
But I'm working with you.
How many varieties of apples do you have on your farm?
We have about 30 varieties. Right behind us here is Sierra Beauty. There's Fuji's back here. Behind the camera where you can't see are Granny Smith. And they all get ripe at different times. Some in early August, and
we don't
some
have
in early
that.
August, and some as some of the Waltanas, which are developed in southern Humboldt.
Yes.
By Albert Etter, late December. So we have a long span to be picking fresh apples over about a 5-month period.
So I would imagine that apple tastes differently, not only by its type, but also by the time of season it ripens. Is that true or no? Do later seasons taste different than early seasons?
Well, they're typically sweeter apples towards the end. the very first apples that come on, the ones in August, are Gravenstein. We're almost through that season right now. Those tend to be fairly tart. But there are some tart late apples too, wine saps, that sort of thing.
Are all apples edible?
Yeah, some
Are they all flavorful?
some like maybe sometimes on a sport or an apple that might sprout or be crossed, might be like really sour or not ripened properly or something. But yeah, most are edible. The ones that we see in the store and the ones that we grow are ones that have been selected and appreciated in different ways. Sometimes people are still crossing them. I'd read this is a cross with Jonathan and Wagner, if I remember correctly, and has some of the character of both of those apples.
So, will your cider taste differently at different weeks of the
absolutely.
year?
And that's sort of, we tend to try to make the batches uniform. If we have some sweet apples, some sour apples, some whatever, let's use some of each in every batch. But it tends to be very tart in the beginning and all Gravenstein. And then towards the end of the season, it's quite a mix. Well, it's a mix through the whole rest of the season.
But why? It would seem you would have so much fun to have like the October sweet or whatever.
Well, as soon as we started bottling varietal cider, I can just, in our small scale, I could predict a real challenge, because you'd have a customer that had some Gravenstein cider, and can I get some more Gravenstein cider? And then, they're out of season now. So now you're going to have
fantastic
Jonagold cider or something like
fantastic.
That. And so we usually put up on a chalkboard what the mix is for this week's cider, and then just let it go from there. But it tends to be a blend.
So we're layering the interest here, because I haven't touched alcohol in many years, but many moons ago I used to enjoy scotches, and you learn a lot about things about where the peat is and things like that when you're a Scotch drinker. And also as wine drinkers, you have people who are sommeliers, and they learn a lot of things like this. And almost there's that kind of profession happening here.
We tend not to get complex like...
you don't want to be pretentious and artsy.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay. But there would be people that would like maybe grow sage, or maybe grow licorice, or I don't know what's the flavor of licorice next to something, and they would kind of say, but this plant was grown next to this, and you'll see the subtleties of being grown next to this kind of herb. I could see how people would have that kind of thinking to see if that would mix. You ever thought of that, or that's just too pretentious and too
I don't know if it's pretentious, but I haven't thought of that.
No? Will you think of it?
I am thinking about it now.
There you go. I believe what's really important for people is passing down knowledge, passing down ways of life to the next generation. It produces a lot of meaning for people. And what we do throughout our lives, thinking that one day we will be remembered in a certain way, and that our children will be doing things because we did them in a certain way. And doing those things in a certain way, we honor people we never even met. I would like to now introduce you differently as Cliff Clendenen, the man who met Huell Hauser. I feel I should have like applause and fanfare here. I watched it. I went home and watched the episode where Huell came here, exciting, and he went over the machine and how you press it. And unfortunately, you did all your pressing yesterday. But the machine was from 1916. Do you still use the same machine from 1916?
We still use the same machine. My grandfather started pressing cider in 1909, and he used a screw type press where there's a big screw, and you pull on this bar and press the mash or the pumice, he used that for about 7 years, and then he bought the press that we use now. Had it shipped out from Ohio in 1916, cost him $500.
Is it true that they put wax on or put a film on apples?
Well, there's natural wax on the fruit, and so a lot of commercial apples will go through a washing process to wash this wax off, and then they'll put shiny wax on there, and we don't do anything so exotic, and I've never really appreciated the value of that. There's natural wax on the apple, and I think we should just stick with that.
And it doesn't really prolong the life of it in any way?
Oh, I think it does prolong the life, but you know, a lot of the big apple industry was geared around how can we store these and make them last a long time, and then, you know, meter them out to a big market, so they would have a steady flow of maybe a certain variety like Red Delicious or Fuji or something year round.
Want to go look at your machine?
Yeah. Okay, cider press. So this is a 1916 Mount Gilead number 4C that my grandfather bought for $500, had shipped out from Ohio. Most of everything you can see that's green on this is wood, and it's been replaced probably 3 times in the 100 years that this has been in use. And this is the original 3-horse motor that runs it. This grinder, the red thing is what grinds up the apples. The apples come up the elevator on these white paddles, drop into the grinder. Apples go in the elevator, as I mentioned, get ground up here, get caught in this hopper. We're set up for bottling right now, but the apples get wrapped up in cloth. We make a stack of them. It's called a rack and cloth press. The press cake is what's inside the cloth at the end.
Right, this is where Huell was so surprised when the thing came down and was like, oh, it's called making cider.
Huell was surprised about a lot of things.
It was
It was very entertaining. Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so this pile here, this is going to go on our compost pile. This is the pumice, or the apple pulp from our cider press. So we have a rack and cloth cider press, and it comes out of the cloth this way. It's had 2,000 psi pressure, and so the juice is extracted through the cloth as this is really wet and fluffy with cider after it's crushed. Then as it's pressed, cloth on both sides, the juice goes down in a catch basin, and you end up with this wonderful stuff. So this is it's still edible. This pile right here represents 380 gallons of apple cider. Guy Fieri was here, and he thought, oh, you should make a product out of this. He's like the food guy, and we never have, but it's food grade compost right now, but pretty dry, but they could be horse biscuits or something. You can even see the lines from the polypropylene press claws in there. And here's, of course, the seeds. We got a lot of little baby apple trees that will sprout out of the apple pulp pile. Then, of course, all the colors, the peeling. That's a Rosebrook Gravenstein there. Yeah, so this makes great compost.
Do you sell cider year-round or just seasonally?
Just seasonally. And we press it fresh and then start selling in late August up until usually late February. And then keep pressing once or twice a week during that period. And then that's the end of our season. We have at times in the past frozen up cider and thawed it out, but currently we just sell it fresh. We have a little freezer in the back for somebody traveling that wants to get a frozen gallon, but we just produce it August through February. What our specialty has been, let's sell the varieties and let people enjoy them as they ripen, and then sell an apple that's maybe between 0 and 2 weeks old, rather than several months old that's been waxed and held in a refrigeration to try to prolong its life.
They probably taste differently, or probably.
Well, they just tend to be softer and flatter, and I think that's the beauty of small farms, since local agriculture is you can buy fresh food and appreciate it with its best nutrition and flavor.
It's hard to, but this is truly, if you're traveling on the 101 going north or south, this is a necessity place to stop. It's right off the 101. The cider is a game changer. It's as far as understanding how to drink something that is just so wonderful. If you're driving, I would imagine that it's so much better than beef jerky or the Skittles you're eating now. It'll make the drive so much more pleasant.